Hello, my name is Josh Rodriguez, and I chose to do liability issues in a disaster. I chose this because it's something I think that's often overlooked during a disaster, something that people don't think about. Oftentimes, when volunteers are involved, the liability is elevated. So, when a incident and disaster happens, you have an incident commander, and he's in charge of all the possible hazards and liability. At the end of the day, it all falls on his shoulders. He's often assigned safety officers, and during the disaster situation, they're the most informed, and they are going to be the most knowledgeable about liability and keeping up with OSHA standards that we'll talk about here in a minute. Liability issues that evolve during a disaster, a lot of it leads to negligence, not being on the same page from a state, local, and federal level. Oftentimes, certain liability issues are created due to the lack of training for emergency management. So sometimes the state or local officials may not be trained enough and don't often train other people's. These duties are clearly outlined as being part of the emergency management responsibilities and often starts at a top-down approach of them assuming most of the responsibility and liability and being knowledgeable enough to train other people. Disaster volunteers are huge. When a disaster comes, oftentimes people crowd around and they want to help all they can, but a lot of times you have to that's not the wisest choice is to just get people that are just showing up. You want to work, you want to work with a well-established organization. And when the disaster, they're very crucial, such as Red Cross, United Way, big organizations like that. They're trained well. It's crucial to build relationships with well-known volunteer organizations, knowing that they will have some sort of training already and don't pose as much as a liability. The organization that upholds a lot of these safety laws and for reducing liability is OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and they impose two things on employers: provision of hazard-free workplace agrees to comply with OSHA standards. That's what the duty is of the employers, and part of the OSHA Act is that employees are to question. They encourage, they need to question unsafe conditions and request a federal inspection also to assist OSHA inspectors. Violation of these laws may be used as evidence in a civil suit requesting damages of personal injury or wrongful death. Emergency managers must comply with a variety of these legal responsibilities that derive from federal, state, and local ordinances. Actions that may oftentimes lead to negligence will be failure to adhere to the plan. Like I said before, before and after disaster, executive level decisions that plan poorly, make poor decisions, and can lead to bad emergency response, like I talked about before. And also the incident commander, who takes the lead, and when he's not knowledgeable, there's a lack of wisdom there. So in conclusion, to avoid liability, it requires incident commander to create a proactive partnership with these organizations and have legal advisors throughout phases of emergency management and during and after disaster. Thank you for your time, and good luck.